Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. You know, it's just almost 4:30 and it's dark already. I've shut my curtains and put the light on to make this video because it was very grainy. If I try to do a video when it's, you know, getting dark and that without putting the light on, it comes out very grainy on the screen. So I've shut my curtains and put the light on and it looks a bit better. Anyway, I am busy knitting this. These are the sleeves on the cardigan, but before I show you anything about that, I'm going to put that down. I have been doing another little crochet yarn holder ball. I've been asked by quite a few people about this, whether I was selling them or how to make them, did I have a pattern, and I couldn't follow a pattern in crochet to save my life. I just do things out of my own head. I work things out. Crochet is one of the worst patterns for me. I just cannot follow them. Maybe it's because I prefer to do things myself, but I have got these other 4 balls I'm using for this. I had a little bit of another ball which I've joined on with a magic knot. But these are what I'm using now. Will be enough for them to finish it off, and I'm doing it this, and I've made a more of a square bottom. The other one has I made as more of a rounded bottom on that one. But I'm doing a tutorial because there's that many people have asked about this and it's so simple. So I'm doing a tutorial, but I'll show part of that tutorial tonight, what I've done today, and maybe tomorrow if I get it finished tomorrow, because I found out that crochet is the thing that starts my hands, my wrists and everything off. And I've done that today and it hasn't been too bad because I have had a rest. Actually, I haven't done much knitting or crochet since Saturday. I think I haven't had a video up. I didn't put a video up Sunday or yesterday. No, I didn't do. So I've done a little bit of knitting, but not a lot. And I thought I'd try this today because there are 1 or 2 people asking about it, so I thought I'd do just a little tutorial. So I'm going to show you what I've done with the tutorial first, and the rest of it I will probably, if I get it finished tomorrow, I'll probably put it up tomorrow for the rest of it. So it's not all in one, it's just giving you a basic idea what I have done up to now. I'll put that down anyway. And I'm going to stop the video and then I'll start it again and tell you a little bit more what I've been up to. Hello everyone, I'm going to do a tutorial on how I made this yarn ball. That's the name of them, but it's not actually a ball, it's a yarn bag, but it's a yarn holding bag. As you see, just to hold a ball of wool. And I just crocheted this out of bits and pieces, but I've had so many questions asking if there was a pattern for it, but it's my own pattern. And as you can see, I put a little bit on here for to slot the wool through. So you have to, because you can't just put your wool through, you know, through a one, or else you'd have to keep, you wouldn't be able to take it off till you had finished knitting. So you need what I've done there, like put a button on so you can hold the yarn in there. Now this one I started off with, I've done a base. This one I started off with a chain. I think I had about 20 stitches using, that's a 10 millimeter hook. And with this one, I crocheted both sides. I went round one side of the chain and then round the other side. And when I come to the ends, I was increasing 3 of the stitches. I was doubling 3 of the stitches on each end for a few rows. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I did 5 rows around there. But it is easier just to crochet a piece, you know, going backwards and forwards and increasing on each corner afterwards and then going round. But I will show you that when I get to it. That was just my way of practice, but I've had so many people asking about how I made this that I'm going to show it. But this I'm using, I have to take that wool out of there now. I'm using 4 strands of double knitting. There's 3 half balls and a bit here. I will probably have to add some more on when I get round to finish that. But this bag here weighed 130 grams when it was finished. So I'm going to show what I did. I've made a chain for to do a piece. I'll do a few rows, and I do want it to measure the same as this one. So this one, the base of this one measured 4 inches. So I will crochet backwards and forwards until it measures 4 inches. So like I say, I've made a chain 25, I think it's 25, I better count it and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'll do another one, 25. So that is 25 chain, and then I'm just going to crochet backwards and forwards until I get it to measure 4 inches. And so all it is just, you miss your first chain, go into the second one. And it is a little hard with 4 strands to get them all through. And that is all you're doing, picking up the stitches across on the chain for your first row. And I am having to wear supports on my wrist because I'm having a lot of trouble with my wrists at the moment. So if you're wondering why those things are there, that's the reason. So I will come back when I get all those stitches picked up. So that is the first row, just double crochet, that's all it is. And then when you come to the last stitch, it is rather difficult when you're doing with a lot of strands, so make sure you catch all the strands when you do it. So we're doing 1 double crochet chain at the end of that row, and then we're going to turn. You do 1 chain, go into your first double crochet, yarn over, pull through all those stitches. Same with the next stitch. And the next stitch, and so on to the end of the row until you have another row finished. So that's how it's going to go. When you get to the end of that row, you'll do another chain and work across again, and I will tell you how many rows you need when I've done that. So that's another row. We're going to do a chain at the end of this row. One chain and turn. And you go into the first chain, the first stitch. And you all notice that I do crochet very different to everyone else. So if you don't crochet this way, don't try crocheting my way, because do it your own way. It's very hard sometimes to get through these stitches. I've done that one, missed the one there. So we're just starting onto the third row now. And that's how I've missed the one. It's just that where you keep missing strands. Yeah, you have to make sure you collect all the strands. So I will be back when I've done the 4 inches that I'm going to do. So that's 7 rows I've done, and now I'm going to do, it actually measures 3 inches, but we're going to do the corners. We do 3 stitches into this corner, we take 6 stitches, make 6 stitches down the side, 3 into that corner, go across the side here, and then 3 stitches into that corner, and then 6 stitches up to the next corner, and 3 in that corner, and then across to the other side. And then we start going round in a circle from there, because by the time we go around here and do this, the row across here and the row across there, it'll measure 4 inches then. So I'm going to start on this is the first corner. First stitch into this corner here, that's 1, 2, and the 3rd stitch. Sometimes you don't always catch every one it's cut through. Going into the next stitch there, down the side now, that's 1, 2, 3, this is the 3rd stitch, 4th stitch, the 5th stitch, and the 6th stitch is the corner stitch. So we're going to do 3 into that stitch. It's 1, 2, 3, oops, I've dropped that clatter on my table. I hope it hasn't made a dent in the table. So now we're going to go across these stitches along the other side here, where you cast the where you made the first chain. So we're going to go into there like that. And these are the strands that we started with. We're going to put those over the hook and work them in as you go along. It's 1. I'm standing up, looking down my phone over my table, and that's how I kept nearly dropping the hook onto the table. When I let go, it just slips out. So now you have to work across all those stitches like that, across there, working that end in as you go, and that gets rid of any end. You won't have to weave that in afterwards. So that's what you're going to do. We've done the 3 stitches there, we've done 5 stitches and onto the 6 stitches the corner. Take 6 stitches up to the corner, and then we're going to go across there, do 3 stitches in that corner and work another 5 up here, and then the 6th one will be in that corner, and then we do that corner, and then we'll come across to where we started here. So that is the base, and you see it now measures 4 inches. It was 3 inches until I'd done that, the corners, and went all the way around, so it's now 4 inches. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do what I did on this one, this separating stitch. This is a stitch that separates the base from the sides. So I'm going to show you how I do that one now. And you have to make sure this is going to be the outside of the bag, and that will be the inside of the bag. So you're working on this V stitch. This is the V stitch of the double crochet. So instead of going through that whole stitch, I've missed a bit of the wool there. Now you're only going through half of the V stitch, so we are going to leave that bit at the front and go into the back bit. That's one. And you're just working all the stitches that you see all the way around. 2. As you can see, you're starting to form that edge like on that one there. So you remember, it's the back part of that V stitch that you're going into. And you just work all the way around until you come to the point where you started. So that is that edge done, where we've made the separating edge around here, and we're up to where we started. So we're just working around in circles. We're not joining. Each row you do is going to be above the row below. There won't be any join marks on it, and that's how I work out the bags. That's the way I prefer them. So I am going to just carry on around here and just keep working double crochets all the way around until you get it to measure. This one I worked until from the edge bit here, I worked up until it was almost 6 inches. The whole thing, when it's folded in half, is 8 inches. So that's all we're going to do now, is just keep going round and round in circles. And that, where that line is there, that is the outside. So when it's done, that'll be folded there, and that's the edge of the bag. So you keep on working around. My yarn bowl not quite big enough for all of these. This is how it's coming along. Here and there on the sides. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know whether it's on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's just the other side. I haven't been round yet. So from putting the separation ridge there, I've done, I'm onto the 5th row, the 5th round. I don't know how many I did on my other one, actually. I had to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I did 14 14 rounds on this one from the ridge up. So that is enough of that one for today. I only do a small amount of crochet because the crochet does affect my hands and my wrists a lot more than what the knitting does. So that is how you start off the crocheted yarn bowl. Most of the ones you see for sale are wooden ones, and they usually cost something about, I've seen the price, anything up to about £20 for just one. I'm selling, when I make them, if I sell them, I'll be selling them for £10, because I do have to make allowances for postage and that, because it will cost me £3.50 in postage, and then you have to look at the price of the wool that I've used, because I'm not using just scraps now, I'm using proper balls of wool. So anything else I do that's not scraps it'll cost a little bit more than what any, you know, the ones I sold that were in scraps. But anyway, this is the little cardigan I was knitting. It's not a cardigan, it's a sweater. I've making it into a sweater. And I've done the front. This is all I've been doing over the weekend, really, since Saturday. That is the back, and I've done the front, and I've done a lacy pattern on the front. And I hold it close, you can see. I think I showed you when I first started it, how it's like a kind of zigzag lace pattern, and the stitches that come up in between are like in a zigzag as well. So that's that. What I've done up to now. And I made it's going to have a front opening on it, so I'm going to knit up the pieces up the sides for that. And as I knew there wasn't going to be enough wool to do long sleeves, what I have done is what was left, I weighed it and I've split it between the two sleeves. And it's a pity there wasn't more like that with the green, because I can only get like that on one sleeve. So that's one half of the wool that I've split, and I am going to use this pink. I have a pink that's very much the same as the pinks that's in it, so I'm going to use that pink to finish it off up to the neck. And this is the second sleeve. I've started the second sleeve with the wool that was left over, so one is going to have the bit of green, and this one is just going to be more or less pink, and the lighter pink and the bit white in. So the sleeves are going to be different, they're not matching. So that's when I get this, finish this knitting this bit here, I'll count up the rows, and if there's more on this one I might have to take a little bit off that one to weigh them to get them both the same length. And then, like I said, finish them off with this, and I'll put this round the neck and round the little opening on the front. So that was that one. Yeah, put that one down. And I love that pattern on there. That's the pattern. I've made that pattern up myself, so it is my own pattern. I haven't copied it from a book or anything like that. And then this is how far I've got. I've got all the pieces finished with this one for Daggery. I've got all the pieces finished and I've got them all on. The sleeves are there somewhere. That's the sleeve there. I've got the sleeve. I put the neck on, and I now do have to do the bands down the front and sew it up. Well, I'll be sewing it up first and then putting the bands down the front. But I won't be doing any of that now, because once the light goes on, I do not like doing things where you're picking up stitches. I like it to be in daylight when I do things like that, so it'll be tomorrow before I finish that one off. So that's all I have to do is the bands up the front and sew that one up. and put the buttons on naturally. Put that one in the bag. And this is how far I've got with the, take all those things out, with the footprints blanket. I've got past the, you can see that's where the next panel, there are five in those, six. I mean, I count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 panels across, and then you start those again after. So I've done that first lot and done the garter stitches between to start on the next lot of panels. And that one's working out about 12 rows a day, because it does take about 10 minutes to do one row. It's such a lot of stitches, and because there's so many change of stitches in the row, I have to be very careful, and I have to be looking at the pattern all the time for this one. I can't just, you know, put the number of stitches in my head and work, because every single row is different. There's not, the only rows that are the same is when you come to do the bit of garter stitch. I love doing that bit, and every other row on the right side is a it's just knit all the way across, but all the other stitches that are done on the wrong side, that all the bubbles are done on the wrong side with the pattern, is so many change of stitches that it does take quite a long time to get across the row. And I finished one bowl with that, so I'm going to have to get another bowl from my stock upstairs. That's that one. I'll put those extra cable ones in there. And I have been up my friends. The reason I haven't done anything today, well, put that other sleeve, oh there it is. The reason I haven't gotten anything done today is I have been, my friend who I go to bingo with, and she messaged me and asked me if I would come and pick her up and take her around the shops where I live, because she wanted an anniversary present, a card and some one or two other things, and she couldn't find them in her shops. I says, you know, they're the same shops where I live, just in a different place. But anyway, we had a good afternoon. We had, well, morning it was really. It started out in the morning into the middle of the afternoon. We went around all the shops and she got what she wanted and come back to my house, and we had some luncheon. And then I was showing her all the knitting patterns that everybody's been sending me. So she's saying, looking through them, well, I'll have that one, I'll have that one, I'll have that one. So I've got to print some copies of a lot of these patterns out for to give to my friend for what she knits. The only thing is, all the things she knits, she'll be wanting the wool off me to knit them. So anyway, I didn't get started on anything till about 2 o'clock today, and that was when I started that yarn ball holder. It's like a tongue twister. And I have been posting some of my orders today. I think I'm going international now, actually. I posted one. If you're watching Marilyn in New Zealand, I posted one to Marilyn, and then one to Veronica in Spain. I've posted yours as well, Veronica, you're in Spain. I've posted, and I have sent other ones other times to Germany and Southern Ireland and one or two other places. Actually, didn't realise how cheap it is actually to send like a letter. It only costs for the ones I've sent today, it was only £2.20 for a postage stamp to send to Spain and New Zealand, because they were my patterns I was posting, and they go in just an ordinary small letter, which, you know, in this country second class is only 75p, but I think first class is about £1.25, so it's not that much more to send abroad. So if there's anyone in any other countries wants any of my patterns, you'll have to send me a message. My email is in the description box, and we can sort out whatever ones you want, because there has been quite a lot of people have been wanting the patterns, and they've been trying to get them off Etsy and eBay, but because I don't deliver to outside of the UK on Etsy or eBay, but eBay does have a global thing where if someone in another country wants anything, they will send me the information. I have to send this order down to somewhere else in the country, and that place sends it on to whoever from different countries, whoever want to order things, and it costs them quite a lot actually, because I've looked at the what they've been charged for. People have been charged for just a few patterns an awful lot more than a £2.20 stamp what I could send. But if anybody wants to do that, they can pay me through PayPal, or if necessary I would give them my bank details for to send it through my bank if they can't manage with the PayPal. So that is just a little bit information for any of you people in other countries that might want any of my patterns, and that's what I've been doing. Because I've sent a lot through eBay down to the global place, and I think they've went to Australia and Sweden and lots of different countries actually. I've sent quite a lot through that way. So my patterns are getting known all over the world now actually. So anyway, I'm going to do a little bit knitting with this, and there's no way I can do the footprint blanket of a night time, because I like to watch things on my computer. Very rarely switch my television on, probably once updating actually the last time it was on. I just watch everything on my computer because it's in front of me, and my television is that far across the room, and my eyesight's not that good for that distance, and I can't see any writing that comes on the screen, so I need a bigger television actually. I think I might spend some of the money I'm getting from YouTube and buy myself a new television, a larger one with a larger screen. Because it's okay on my computer, because it's just sitting on my coffee table in front of me and I can see what's written on the screen. So anyway, that's my little bit for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.